Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is day 132 of playing chess every day until 2000, and I'm at 1957, and we're gonna play d4. This is the first time I get a game so fast. Catalan player. Okay. Let's see what he plays. Okay, modern defense. Mainly it's gonna transpose the King's Indian, okay. Bishop here, e4, d6, h3, castles, no, okay. Now castles. Okay, I mainly go for knight to e2 and play g4, and I always play that, so I will play it, even though it's not the best, and my opponent now has equalized, 100% equalized because of this move. Mainly the top engine move is to play bishop to e2, but I don't like to put the knight here, because my plan is to go knight here, put the pawn on g4, and the knight behind it. Okay, so he's trying to go for this f5 push, which if I play the move g4, he plays f5, I take once, he takes, I take, and bishop takes, and I play knight to g3, and the game continues. And if he did not play f5 right away, I'm going to play knight to g3, and I'm controlling f5 and also putting the bishop on d3, and then I have significant control over f5 square. If he played it right away, we take, bishop takes, and knight to g3. Okay, so he decided not to, which is understandable. We play knight to g3 to control that square, and also get the bishop out to d3. He will take. And actually the best move, after he takes, he takes in with this pawn, with the center pawn. But I never like the idea of allowing him to push so that his bishop will be active. So when he takes, I usually take with the pawn. Okay. Try to put the knight here, or put the knight here. If I play bishop to d3, he will get the knight here or here to attack my bishop. I don't want that. And it's better to put the bishop on d3 to support that square, as I told you, instead of putting the bishop on g2. So we just play here. He puts the knight there, and then we can just hop back with bishop to c2, something like this. If he takes, we can take with the knight. Yeah, if he takes, we can take with the knight maybe, and then we play bishop to g2 to defend the pawn and castle. Okay, so he's trying to go for b5. If I take and he will take, that's not good. They want to play the move b5, and after takes, we're still gonna win a pawn in the process. So I don't believe he's gonna play it now. I believe we have to get the bishop active somehow. Bishop here, bishop to e3, we're attacking a pawn, but it doesn't do much. It's actually good. You're activating a bishop, and you're also attacking this, and you will be attacking the rook. So he doesn't have to play b6. He doesn't have time to play this because he will take the rook. And if he decided to close everything, well, then we would have the move f4 at a certain point. If he takes, I take with the knight. And now I'm just targeting this pawn. He pushes, and I can just take here. I will lose that pawn, but I will have a position for my knight on d5. The b5 doesn't work because of takes. Okay, now he just went back to defend, which is kind of weird. Pawn takes. So what do we do here? We can play the move b4. If he went here, we can take. b4 is fine. There's no reason not to expand. You don't want the knight to be here. You don't want him to push and close the position. And yes, my king is not castled yet, but a queen here will be pinning my knight, so I can just go here. Here takes queen, queen. I'm still gonna play the move before. Just taking control, taking more space. Most of the time when I try to play against the King's Indian, I mainly go for this setup. Why? Because I want to control the f5 square. Because in the King's Indian, the only thing that they want, the King's Indian players, they want to play the move f5 so freaking bad. So when you stop them, it just, at a certain point, they just blunder. Okay, so we can take with the knight. We would have a very beautiful knight, but he will not let me have it because it will put the knight here or knight here to remove the knight. Taking with the center pawn allows this pawn to be pushed, so I believe taking like this and also threatening to ruin his structure would be also good, but we have to be careful because now the knight will be hanging if the queen tried to attack. Taking here would be fine. Moving the bishop to try to get the rook on c8, understandable. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then I just play knight to e2, or no. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and just rook to c1. Rook to c1, just defending. He has very bad pawns, very, very bad pawns. I kind of love it, even though his knight is not that good, but the knight might be, the knight is garbage. But I want to take to ruin his structure, to ruin the pawns, and this pawn will be significantly weak. And after I take and pawn takes and rook to c1, he cannot get the rook here because I can simply win this pawn, but he can push. Is the bishop strong though? Is my bishop strong? Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then we have to castle, and after bishop here, we get the rook on e1. Queen will get in. I think I have to keep my bishop active, but I don't know how. Okay, bishop takes, pawn takes, and I have to castle. Bishop here attacking my rook. Rook to e1. Queen to h4, king to h2, defending everything. The knight will hop in. I still think it's the best thing to do. Ruin his structure. Castle. And this pawn is protected. The center pawns are protected. Rook to c1 will be coming. So we have to go here. I cannot move this rook because he will lose that pawn. If he went here, I can play rook to c1, or queen to d2 is better. Queen to d2 is trying to remove the bishop, one of the defenders of the king, and also adding pressure here. And also defending, and also connecting the rooks. Wow, queen to d2 is just perfect. So we have good center. My knights are active. Bishop is very, very strong, so I don't think we have to trade it. The queen will be on d2. The rooks will be connected. The king is safe. And he has bad pawns. I think my position is better. Even though he has the move bishop to b5, but we don't take, because after it takes, okay, what is that? Trying to go knight here. Okay. Now knight here is still controlling that push. Takes. We're still controlling that. Queen to d2. He's gonna play knight here. Rook fc1. Knight takes. Rook takes. And then we just try to double up here. Queen to d2 is fine. He wants to play this, but it is bad to take with the knight because he will fix his pawn structure, and you just gave him the bishop bear, which is crazy. I gave him the bishop bear at a cost of him having very bad pawns. Queen is getting in. That will be a blunder because we will lose the pawn because we cannot take. King to g2 is the move that defends everything. Actually, he might be losing the game on the spot after king to g2, and he blunders something like moving the knight or something, because bishop to g5 will trap his queen. So let's see what he will do. King here. And will he see that there's bishop to g5 and his queen will be trapped, or will he not? He did see that. Nice. Can I play knight here? He takes. We have to trap his queen somehow. So I have this crazy rerouting of the knight to attack the queen. But the knight is somehow stopping. Can he open up stuff? No, he will lose his queen by bishop here. How can we do something? I mean, rook fc1 is fine, because we're just targeting the knight indirectly and trying to reroute the knight here, and also giving a square for the king to run. And we're also, running away from bishop to b5, so, and everything is defended, so I don't see anything. If you play this, I can just take. He takes, I take, bishop takes, knight takes, still fine. So I believe rook fc1 is okay. Trying to go here, trying to go here, trying to go here. Attack the knight, the queen needs to move. I have active rook. Try to play rook to c3 and rook to c1, doubling up, and we just have a good position. I think at a certain point he needs to go for the f5 push, but I don't believe it is now. Because if the takes, bishop takes, I will just take, and after rook takes, he doesn't have anything, and I can just get the queen in to try to trade off the queens. Any move like this, that will be a blunder. He loses the queen. Okay, so now he wants to trade the knights and put a bishop on this. Reasonable. Reasonable. I don't believe that I'm going to give him the knight. I'm not going to fix the structure. I'm going to tell him, you know what, fuck you, I'm just going to play knight to e2. Knight to e2, defending the knights, stopping the knight from going here. A4 will be coming, and he needs to get the hell out of here, and then he will lose the knight. So he needs to be careful, because A4 is very strong. And he cannot go here, because after knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, he lost the pawn in the process, and he doesn't have anything. He can push this, but then I can do what? I can maybe play f3, and after takes, and we're still fine. Yeah. So this is a significant threat against my opponent. Playing rook to c8, maybe it's a good move, because after a4, knight back, no, he loses this pawn. He blundered. That's a blunder. He's trying to move maybe the queen so that this pawn will be protected twice, but I have the move a4. The knight cannot go here, cannot go back. That's obviously a blunder. Knight here, pawn here. The only move for him is to go here. And then I will take with the knight. After pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn push, and I play the move f3. He takes and I take, and we're still fine. And we play rook to h1. So I believe he blundered after the move a4. I mean, this move is just ridiculous. I mean, how you cannot see the move a4? But let's just calculate correctly. a4, he cannot go there because of our rook. The only square is to go here. And after knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Yeah, we believe he blundered a4. So yeah, he lost the pawn. And he needs to go here. And actually, we have to take with the knight, and after pawn takes, we take with the bishop, so we have very, very, very active bishop. And if he decided to give us the bishop, we have a very strong queen in the center of the board, controlling a lot of diagonals. And the knight will rewrite like this and attack the queen, kick it away, and we're just having fun. What the frick is that? What? Bishop to f6? So he's like, I'm gonna lose the knight, so that's it. You want to take with the bishop, I just go knight here, defending everything, and I will attack your queen, and the queen will be trapped. There are no sacrifices, there is nothing. And if I take and he sacked the bishop, and I just take, he doesn't have anything. That is so weird. If I take, will he play something like this? Well, I will just get back after this move. I just take, he takes with the bishop. I'm stopping all sort of checks, so what? Yeah, okay, he resigned. How did he not see the knight was... Wow. Okay, let's check the game review. I know that I did not play the opening in the best way according to the engine, but I just love when I stop them from playing the move f5. You know, when you stop a King's Indian player from playing the move f5, they go crazy. They just completely malfunction. They don't know what to do. d4. Okay, all of this has been played before. Castles, knight here still fine. He needed to get the queen right, and okay. We got the knight to g3. Okay, bishop to e3 is still fine, just developing my piece. Takes. Take with the pawn, that's the best way. See, I mean, I already have 1.2 advantage just from the opening phase. So all you have to do against the King's Indian, stop, you know, just control that square. The f5 square, control it with the pawn, with the knight, and stop him from playing the move f5, and he will completely make a mistake. I decided to take the knight because I was like, he will have bad pawns for the rest of the game, my king will be safe, the rook will be on e1, and the pawn on a7 will be a target, so I don't know why it's that of a mistake. I had to go here right away to attack the pawn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand which rook to use, but, you know, still fine. What? So they wanted me to take the knight so that the bishop takes, but I don't really like it. He needed to go, yeah, he needed to go for the move f5. But then that's, I mean, he's just gonna lose a pawn here. And he needed to go there, and after I go knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, I'm up a pawn, I'm attacking this pawn, everything is protected in my position, rook h1 will be coming, and I'm just up a pawn. That's just enough to win the game, especially when him having two pawns like this. I took his knight, and he is completely losing. I thought there was kind of a sacrifice here, maybe that's why he decided to sacrifice the knight, but no, actually he just blundered his knight, and now we are at 1965, my highest peak ever. The opening was fine, 98.1. The middle game, but the only thing here that I don't really understand, here it's plus 1.8, and I had to take the knight for some reason. But, I mean, I don't understand why. Bishop takes, I mean, yes, I have active rook, and I can play rook c3 and rook c1. And if he takes with the pawn... No, actually, the best move is to take with the pawn, not with the bishop. Okay, so I just fixed his pawn structure, and I gave him the bishop there. How is this reasonable? Maybe putting the rook on c7? Oh! Oh, rook to c7, because you're attacking the bishop, and the bishop needs to move, and then you will win that pawn. Oh. right? It's rook to c7. I'm still waiting for the engine, but my computer is just garbage. I still have to wait. Rook c7 is the best move. Rook c7 is the best move. Trying to target this pawn on a7. Yes, that's understandable. And here, I mean, what if he went with the move f5? I take, bishop takes, knight takes, rook takes. And I still play this move because he will still lose. No. Here he had to go for this right away. But how? How if he went to f5, he is not losing his knight after the move a4? Because then he can take with the pawn attacking here. And if I take, he can take with the bishop and he has some checks. Wow, a very important push, apparently, the move f5. Shut up. But then he completely missed that move and he blundered his knight. Well, we all blunder. It's okay. 1965. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.